Gamescom 2025 just blew our minds with some of the hottest game reveals of the year. No fluff, no filler. I'm breaking down the must-see trailers and announcements that had the entire internet buzzing last night. From the long-awaited return of Resident Evil to Xbox dropping nuclear-level reveals, this is the highlight reel you've been waiting for. Let's dive right in. First up, let's talk about the showstopper, Resident Evil Requiem. Capcom is back at it again, and this time, the horror feels scarier, darker, and more cinematic than ever. The trailer introduced us to Grace Ashcroft, an FBI analyst returning to a Raccoon City reborn in pure nightmare fuel. The sound design? Bone-chilling. The atmosphere? Dripping with dread. And honestly, this looks like the most ambitious Resident Evil yet. But what really blew fans away was the sheer attention to detail, photorealistic character models, environments that feel alive with terror, and combat that looks both brutal and tactical. Capcom seems to be blending classic puzzle-solving survival horror with modern action beats, a combination that could satisfy both old-school fans and newcomers. With the release date set for February 27th, 2026, Requiem feels like a love letter to 3 decades of fear, and it might just set a new standard for horror gaming. And as if that wasn't enough, developer Game Science decided to blow our minds again with a completely new project, Black Myth, Zhong-Kuei. For those unfamiliar, Zhong-Kuei is a legendary ghost-catching god in Chinese folklore, and the trailer captured that perfectly. Think hauntingly beautiful visuals, supernatural combat, and an eerie atmosphere that mixes horror with heroism. This reveal feels like a bold move, doubling down on mythological storytelling, but venturing into darker, more spectral territory. The gameplay snippets showed Zhong-Kuei wielding massive weapons and exorcism powers against grotesque spirits, all in environments that felt ripped from nightmares. What's incredible is how distinct it looks from Wukong, more grounded in horror, more focused on spiritual battles, and dripping with cultural authenticity. If Wukong put game science on the map, Zhong-Kuei could cement them as one of the most innovative studios of this generation. Of course, no Gamescom would be complete without a heavy hitter, and this year it was Call of Duty, Black Ops 7. The trailer opened with that trademark cinematic punch, and then boom, co-op campaign mode confirmed. That's right, you can tackle the story with friends, which is something fans have been begging for. Add to that a new PvE mode called Endgame, blending survival and tactical gameplay, and suddenly COD feels fresher than it has in years. What's really fascinating is how Treyarch appears to be reinventing the Black Ops formula. The co-op campaign looks highly replayable, with branching paths and tactical objectives that encourage teamwork, not just running and gunning. Endgame, meanwhile, feels like their answer to Destiny-style raids, a long-term PvE mode with evolving challenges. And with a launch date of November 14th, 2025, this could dominate the holiday season not just because it's Call of Duty, but because it's finally offering something bold and new. Okay, let's address the one game reveal that had everyone screaming, Hollow Knight, Silksong. Yes, finally, Silksong was playable at Gamescom. After years of waiting, Team Cherry pulled back the curtain, and the gameplay looks buttery smooth. Fast-paced combat, new traversal mechanics, and the same gorgeously haunting art direction that made the original a cult classic. But seeing is believing, and fans who tried the demo reported that Hornet feels faster and more agile than the Knight ever was. The verticality of the maps is dialed up, offering complex platforming challenges layered with dangerous enemy placements. The bosses showcased? Pure nightmare fuel, but in that exhilarating Hollow Knight way. And with a Day 1 Game Pass release, the audience for Silksong just multiplied instantly. No official release date yet, but this playable demo means the long wait is finally about to end, and honestly, it could be one of the most impactful indie releases of all time. Now for something wildly creative, Dench Attack. Imagine a post-apocalyptic Japan where trains don't just carry passengers, they skate, grind, and pull off stunts like they're Tony Hawk with wheels of steel. That's Dench Attack. It's quirky, it's rebellious, and it's stylish to the core. The trailer showed off more than 50 levels packed with chaotic stunts, high-speed rails, and larger-than-life bosses. The art style is neon-drenched and punk-inspired, with an energy that screams underground cool. What excites me most is how this feels like something genuinely new. It's not a sequel, not a reboot, not a spin-off. It's a fresh IP daring to be weird. And in a gaming landscape often dominated by safe bets, Attack feels like a breath of fresh, electrified air. It's dropping in early 2026 on all platforms with Game Pass Day 1, and I can guarantee this is the indie everyone will be talking about. Blizzard also had their moment with World of Warcraft Midnight. The cinematic teaser pulled us deep into Azeroth once again, teasing a darker chapter filled with mystery, magic, and war. Say what you will, but Blizzard knows how to craft a trailer that hits you right in the nostalgia. What stood out here was the tone. Midnight feels like WoW leaning into gothic fantasy, with sinister villains and shadowy landscapes unlike anything we've seen in previous expansions. For veteran players, it's another chance to return to their MMO roots, while newcomers might find this the perfect excuse to finally jump in. And after 20 years, the fact that World of Warcraft can still pull focus at a massive global event like Gamescom says everything. Love it or hate it, Midnight proves Azeroth's story is far from over. Gamescom 2025 came out swinging, and honestly, it feels like the gaming calendar just got turbocharged. The variety, the creativity, the scale, this was gaming at its finest. But now I want to hear from you. Which reveal had you screaming at your screen the loudest? Was it Silksong, Resident Evil, or maybe those insane train stunts from Attack? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more hype breakdowns all week long.